Okay, good morning class. How are you doing today?
Fine.
Nice to hear that. So today we're going to start with some tongue twisters for making better the fluency, okay? So the first one is called Peter Piper. So I'm going to put the first video. You're going to listen after that, you're going to repeat, okay?
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? This time a bit slower. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Let's try again at normal speed. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Now for a bit of fun.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked?
Piper picked.
So now please repeat the tongue twister.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked. Peter Piper picked a pickled peppers.
Rock and learn!
Well, hello there.
Hello, hello!
Hey, I've got a question for you. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
A woodchuck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Well, that makes sense.
It certainly does.
You know, I've got a friend who's a woodchuck. His name's Chuck.
That's a good name for a woodchuck.
How much wood would a woodchuck named Chuck chuck if a woodchuck named Chuck could chuck wood?
How much wood would a woodchuck named Chuck chuck if a woodchuck named Chuck could chuck wood?
A woodchuck named Chuck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck named Chuck could chuck if a woodchuck named Chuck could chuck wood.
Now that you mention it, I think I've seen Chuck driving around town.
Wow, I didn't know Chuck could drive. What kind of car does he have?
Oh, Chuck doesn't have a car. He drives a truck.
Uh-oh.
How much wood would a woodchuck named Chuck in a truck chuck if a woodchuck named Chuck in a truck could chuck wood?
How much wood would a woodchuck named Chuck in a truck chuck if a woodchuck named Chuck in a truck could chuck wood?
A woodchuck named Chuck in a truck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck named Chuck in a truck could chuck if a woodchuck named Chuck in a truck could chuck wood. Yep, there goes old Chuck now. Say, who is that in the truck with him?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's a duck.
This could get interesting.
How much wood would a woodchuck named Chuck in a truck with a duck chuck if a woodchuck named Chuck in a truck with a duck could chuck wood?
How much wood would a woodchuck named Chuck in a truck with a duck chuck if a woodchuck named Chuck in a truck with a duck could chuck wood?
A woodchuck named Chuck in a truck with a duck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck named Chuck in a truck with a duck could chuck if a woodchuck named Chuck in a truck with a duck could chuck wood.
All right, now let's see if you can do it. I'll break it down nice and slow. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck If a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Nice! Now sing it with us. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Okay, perfect. One more with the previous job. So now we're going to go ahead with the second tongue twister that is about our job, okay? So in this case, we're going to use the song to follow the rhythm, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
Much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
A woodchuck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
That makes sense.
It certainly does.
You know, I've got a friend who's a woodchuck. His name's Chuck.
That's a good name for a woodchuck.
How much wood would a woodchuck named Chuck chuck if a woodchuck named Chuck could chuck wood?
How much wood would a woodchuck named Chuck chuck if a woodchuck named Chuck could chuck wood?
A woodchuck named Chuck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck named Chuck could chuck if a woodchuck named Chuck could chuck wood.
Now that you mention it, I think I've seen Chuck driving around town.
Wow, I did.
Perfect. So for the last one, we have this one that is about seashells. In this case, I'm going to pause every time we see a sentence, and you're going to repeat after the video, okay?
She sells seashells by the seashore.
Okay, now please repeat.
The shells she sells are seashells, I'm sure. For if she sells seashells by the seashore, then I'm sure she sells seashore shells. Seashore, and I'm sure she sells seashore shells. Let's try it a bit.
For if she sells seashells by the seashore, then she sells seashore shells.
Great. So now we're finished for this part. We can start with the activity or the topic of today. Today we're going to see the past simple. So for start, I'm going to show you a really short video explaining the past simple, okay? Perfect. So for the last activity, we are going to see some videos and you're going to tell me what happened in that scene, okay? Perfect. So let's start with the first one.
Muy bien, baby. Oye, ¿te gustaría oír un poco de música? ¿Cómo lo supiste? Me fascina esta canción. Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces past and I'm homebound.
Perfect. So what you can tell me about this scene? For example, I can say that he sung his favorite song. Okay. So for example, Matthew, what?
The dog beat him.
Great. Example, Ellen. What's a little pretty about?
The man started sing.
Start to sing. Lisa?
He turned on the radio.
Do you have any example?
She pet the dog.
Great. Perfect. So now we're going to continue with the second video, okay?
¡Se inicia la clase! ¿Quién quiere ver una vuelta doble? ¡Llanto! ¡No! ¡Fue un error! ¡No! ¡No puedo! ¡Tengo miedo!
Perfect. So, what examples can you bring to me in this scene? So let's start with Luis.
He jumped. They did walking. Caminata.
Good example. Okay.
They should be careful.
That is an example of a scene.
Yes, shouldn't.
Why?
Because it's a imperception. Should is a present entry.
So, Mafia, do you have an example?
It failed to be done.
Perfect. So now we're going to see the last video. We're going to finish these classes.
Gracias.
De nada. Oye, yo también me dirijo a Aspen y quizá podamos reunirnos para tomar una taza de chocolate caliente.
¿Por qué no? ¿Pareces inofensivo? Te daré mi número telefónico. A ver.
Gracias. Eso. ¡Ah!
Tengo una pluma por aquí.
Mejor dime el otro día, tengo una memoria increíble.
Bueno, es el número 55
555.
5905. Espera. Este es mi número anterior. Es gracioso cómo se te
¡Dios
cruzan los
santo,
números.
dame el maldito número!
Eres muy insistente, así que olvídalo.
¡Ah! ¡Sigue el camino amarillo! ¡Sigue el camino amarillo!
Perfect. So, what do you think about this scene, for example, Aaron? Can you start?
Okay, yes. In the first scene, the first man was a dog.
Yeah. Perfect. Lisa?
She gave him her number.
Great. That was perfect.
He liked her cigarette.
And the last one, Natalie.
He bought the cigarette for us.
You like the cigarette?
Okay.
Do you have any other example?
He got bored.
Great. So for the last activity, you're going to tell me something that you made or did on the last weekend, okay? So it could be a routine or you went out with your family. Okay? So let's start with Lisa.
Okay, I eat with my family fish, and then I took a shower and iron on. And so then I arrived to a grandmother's house. So there's like
Okay? So Natalie, what did you do?
Saturday, I went birthday party with my friends. The job.
Did you eat cake?
No. I thought.
You didn't eat for cake?
No.
Okay. So Emily.
Okay, only time I did my homework and I was at home and I eat how do you say garbanzos?
Beans.
Beans?
Beans.
And
Okay.
I visited my
Hi everyone, hola a todos, my name is Mr. P y juntos vamos a aprender a hablar en inglés. Como muchos de vosotros me lo habéis pedido, hoy voy a hablaros del past simple. El past simple se usa para acciones que han empezado y terminado en el pasado. En función de si el verbo es regular o irregular, seguiremos una forma u otra. Para formar el past simple con verbos regulares, usaremos el infinitivo y añadiremos la terminación ed. Por ejemplo, I played football yesterday. Yo jugué al fútbol ayer. Para los verbos regulares debemos conocer una serie de excepciones para no cometer errores. Para verbos que terminan en una e, solo añadiremos de. Por ejemplo, change, changed. O believe, believed. Si el verbo termina en una vocal corta y una consonante, excepto y o w, doblamos la consonante final. Por ejemplo, stop, stopped. Con verbos que terminan en una consonante y una y, se cambia la y por una i. Por ejemplo, study, studied. O try, tried. Para formar el pasado de un verbo irregular, no hay una forma fija y deberemos aprendernos de memoria su forma. En cuanto a la estructura en frases afirmativas, usaremos el sujeto seguido del verbo en pasado. Por ejemplo, she wanted to play. Ella quería jugar. En frases negativas, usaremos la siguiente estructura: sujeto, seguido de did, seguido de not y seguido del verbo principal en infinitivo. Por ejemplo, Tom did not study last weekend. Tom no estudió el pasado fin de semana. Si es el verbo to be, usaremos sujeto, seguido de to be en pasado y seguido de not. Por ejemplo, she was not here. Ella no estuvo aquí. Para frases interrogativas usaremos did más sujeto más verbo principal en infinitivo. Por ejemplo, did you buy an ice cream? ¿Compraste un helado? Y si es el verbo to be, usaremos to be en pasado más sujeto. Por ejemplo, was the milk in the fridge? ¿Estaba la leche en la nevera? Vamos a practicar el past simple. ¿Cómo dirías Ana no estuvo conmigo? A. Anna did not eat with me. B. Anna was not with me. O C. Anna not was with me. Y la respuesta correcta es la B. Anna was not with me. ¿Cómo dirías ayer hablamos mucho? A. Yesterday we talked a lot. B. Yesterday we did talk a lot. O C. Yesterday we are to talk a lot. Y la respuesta correcta es la A. Yesterday we talked a lot. Y por último, ¿cómo dirías ¿confiaste en él? A. Do you trust him? B. Did you trust him? O C. Was you trust him? Y la respuesta correcta es la B. Did you trust him? Y esto ha sido todo. Espero que os haya quedado claro el past simple. Cualquier duda que tengáis, escribidla en los comentarios. Nos vemos muy pronto. Bye bye.
In the video, now you're going to tell me something about the past simple. For example, who wants to start? Perfect, Lisa, go ahead.
I know is the subject, the verb to be in past, and the verb in past.
Great. In this case, we're gonna use the verb to be because it's past simple, not past progressive. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Natalia, would you like to participate? Okay. And reveal something about the past simple.
We use the irregular and regular verbs.
Okay.
We use it for past events.
Like.
Like if I ate a bowl of cereal this morning.